So we're just turning into the Gilmore Auto Museum. We made a pit stop along the way, and now we're pulling in here. See if we can wander around and enjoy some cars. So, got Dad and Chris, and we are just gonna go in here and check this out. But Dad and I were here a few years ago with some of the guys from his car club, and it's a really cool place and not that far from home. But today is like their last cruise-in night of the year for the summer or whatever, and supposedly it gets really big. And it's supposed to be a nice day, so we're hoping to see not only some awesome cars in the museum, but a lot of cool spectator cars as well. So as soon as you step in, you got something going on here. It's the 60 years of the Ford Mustang. You can look at the legacy of the Mustang from the beginning to end, or beginning to current, I guess. Yeah. Wow. It's pretty awesome. Pretty cool. All the different years, models, options, including a Bullet Mustang over there in the corner. Shelby GT racers. Very, very cool. All the radio gear in it. Race cars. Pretty spectacular cars. Stripped out, gutted, with a minimalistic 4-point roll bar in the back, fire extinguisher in the front. It's pretty cool. GT500 convertible. Yeah. Oh man. New Mustang NASCAR, and oh, yeah, Forgotten Legend. Pretty cool. And then a 1938 Mercedes. Notice the old semaphore lights that popped out. Right here you can see. Just gorgeous.
That's a semaphore back there.
Yep. Manual transmission. I mean, the dashboard just looks like jewelry. Absolutely beautiful cars. Huh. Talking about luxurious 30s here. A ton of just crazy stuff in here. Old Cadillac, a Rolls Royce. Yeah, the amount of chrome. Yeah, look at that engine. Just massive. Massive. Oh, yeah. Said it looks like jewelry.
12-inch headlights, maybe?
Oh, yeah, probably easily. And notice the fog lights turn with the tires.
Do you know what the center thing is?
I wonder if it was a manual crank over, like for manually cranking the engine. It lines right up in there. Yeah. Look at all those years ago, it was 175 horsepower.
V16.
This 29 Duesenberg again, just absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, this one looks recessed too, but I think the other one might be a little more.
Yeah. Again with like the brushed finish. Dash. Just crazy. So neat. So neat.
Look at the top part, it's just stainless. Oh, you're right.
Well, that's cool. 6.5 liter, inline 6-cylinder, 180 horsepower, right-hand drive, Bentley. Just crazy. Things are amazing looking. Pretty wild how far we've come. Look at this. Stabilizer. Huh. This one's interesting in that the fenders don't connect with the running board. It has a separate individual running board from the front and rear fender, as opposed to most of the vehicles in this room will have a connecting running board. Oh, and the wood and stuff is just, the smell, if you guys could smell it, like leather and old car, they just have their own aroma. That would be a cord then, or an auburn. Yeah. So this has no running board, so to speak, in between the fenders, which is, again, different than the others. But look at the little chrome detail on the back side of the fender there. Yeah. Very cool. So the cars from the 20s are really, really cool. However, something caught my eye. This is one of the old Tucker 48 sedan. Yeah, look at the TV there. They have you watching it on. The advertising stuff. So cool. Mm-hmm. Pretty cool. Look at how open the dashboard area was. Like your knee area. So it didn't have a conventional dash like most cars, right? Everything is kind of off to the one side. Very cool. Big parcel shelf behind the back seat. Over top of the big air-cooled flat motor that was in the back. Super cool. Town and Country, back before it was a front-wheel drive minivan. It had class. Look at the chromed rack with the wood strips, sun visors. So cool. 1942 Town and Country. 9 passenger. Seats and more seats and more seats. What a beautiful car. 53 Corvette, a 58 maybe, 57. I don't know my Corvettes that well. Some crazy stuff in here. Oh, look at this thing. The jet-powered Chrysler. How cool is this? See the turbine-powered Chrysler, Chris? Yeah, they're This is like prototype turbine powered. How awesome is that? Man, that's cool. Oh yeah. Fonzie's ride from the Happy Days. 52 Triumph. Nash Metropolitan. Some Studebakers. Just unbelievable stuff. Packard. We can get into some muscle cars. Let's see a Yanko Camaro. On into a whole muscle car area over here. So this is interesting. The Franklin cars were air cooled. It's kind of got a flat roof to it. Almost very cartoony look. The windshield is kind of V pointed together. Right there, you're looking through, you know, you can see through the windshield kind of in both directions. The bottom of the door fender here sweeps outward. You can see really well here, as opposed to most of them that had like kind of the rolled inward with the big running board. That's kind of a neat design feature. Also really like this. They did the same thing in the back. They kind of pointed it together, almost like a ship. It kind of reminds me of a boat, but the way that it kind of points together. It's very interesting design styles that the different manufacturers were trying out back in the day, you know. Super cool. And of course, again, like, that's wild looking, right? Like the rear door is so far forward of the entry point, or the seating point. And there's nothing under there. Like, it's open all the way up to the back of that front seat, you know? So like, how you would have had to transition to like flip up the window and all that stuff, even just to get into the back seat, you know, how cumbersome that would have been, as opposed to the conveniences that we have today where you open the door and slide in. It's kind of interesting. But yeah, they had some pretty wild stuff, you know. You can see here, this is a different year, a year later, but how they've gone. This one has the running boards, and again, I don't know if it was model differences or what provoked them to do the different things that they did, but it's very, very cool. Cool cars. Unbelievable. I'll have to see. I don't know if there's a sign here that says how many years the Franklin automobile was made, but yeah, like that's 1905, 7. We've seen all the way up to like 1932 over there, but they had an engine there that was from the 40s, so pretty wild. Wow, look at the fan for this air-cooled right in the front. Just so neat.
Look at the trunk on this one.
Brass lights and Type D runabout. That same big fan in the front. With one little brass tail light. Wild. This one's got like a wicker basket. The original unit. Very cool. They had this odd slope nose look there, it looks like. That 1916 and 1919. And this very interesting sloped front end style. And 22 they went to, I don't know, to me this looks like a very German design cue. I don't know why it triggers that in my mind, but that's what it triggers in my mind. The engine cover looks to be all one piece, right? Where a lot of these were the multi-piece covers. This thing latches on both sides, and it looks to be one continuous piece all the way over. Again, just how cumbersome it would have been to try and like lift that off, you know. Oh, it must have spun or swung upwards. You could see the hinge here. Huh. Very cool. It's kind of just amazing to see where things came from and where they are today. So we're just noticing that this is the 1919 version, and even this has the V windshield design. You know, how they must have been playing with different ideas of, you know, whether it be aerodynamics or just styling. Pretty interesting. Now we're into some Lincoln, a 25-26 Lincoln chassis. Yeah, that's pretty wild. The exhaust to the center.
I doubt if that was from the original. Yeah. It's like,
She's got everything from a 1990 Lincoln Town Car to stuff from the 30s, 20s. Look at this. Wow. It's like, I don't know, stainless steel or hand-formed aluminum or both or what. Just full polished body, giant polished caps. That steering wheel is just massive, just huge. So neat. So neat. So this is like your temperature gauge, it appears to be anyway. It's cold, driving range, and steaming. So neat. It's got this little aero spoiler for the rear passenger. How cool. Just amazing stuff. To like a more modern concept car from 2017, which is a beautiful car, really. I mean, the styling of this, I think, would even hold up today. I think this is a great looking car. Huh. Very cool. This is kind of neat. That's 40 Lincoln Zephyr, but like, again, what I don't, I guess your driver was, they weren't important. They could sit out in the range or whatever. And then you got the luxury of sitting in the back, maybe. I don't know how it was done. Oh, or maybe this pulled out, connected in, not sure. It's, again, just interesting design ideas and stuff that they did throughout the years. Just a massive car. Wheelbase of 126 inches. I think that's more than some modern full-size trucks. And I thought Holly was just synonymous with performance parts, but it actually had a motorcycle brand back in the day. Got little parts rack and stuff. What is this thing? 1903 Holly Motorette Runabout. I guess they didn't just make performance parts. Okay, so we're just, again, talking. It's just so funny. This is a 1916 Locomobile. You can see it's got like door openings along the bottom there. This would have been a steam-powered car, actually. But yeah, front door, front seat, rear door, rear seat. So if you're in the back and you have this up, you got to fold that down, then fold the whole thing up to get in and out of the door. Just funny how cumbersome that might have been, you know? Pretty wild. Yeah, there's a Ford. Pretty wild. Crazy stuff. All the different brands. Roush and Lang electric coach. 45 2-volt cell batteries. Hertner electric motor. Weighed 3,400 pounds. Huh.
$3,500 back in 1915.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Interesting. So the steering was done like a ship, like a tiller arm, which is kind of interesting. There appears to be some sort of a brake pedal and then your forward reverse control. Pretty wild. The different ideas that people did.
Keep the women out of the weather, I guess.
Huh. All these different cars, just wild. Oldsmobile, Columbia, Woods Mobilette, St. Louis, Stevens Doria. This is like they have at the Haggerty Museum, I believe. This, just noticing from the thing Benz, but this is like, you know, the world's first automobile. 1886 Benz. Very neat. Again, even more Thomas Cadillac. I'm not even sure what this old something. There's an auto car, Buick. It's wild. Oh. Lazier. Brewster. Wild, all the different brands and different ideas, right? Like with lights and stuff. All the different ideas that people had for the way to do things. This building in itself is just cool too, like the hardware, the doors, the structure in here. The building is cool. So I'm walking, I'm like, look at how tall that tire is. It's a 43. Yeah, thought Stomper and Spike's tires were getting big. They didn't have nothing on these guys from 1900 whatever. Prestolite Company. Dissolved acetylene. And they're running a video here. They're talking about a lot of the lighting systems. Actually, they burned acetylene for the lighting. But look at the hardware on this Oldsmobile. Like brass, gold, 43-inch tires. So crazy. Yeah, look at the headlight assembly in there. We had to get out and light it. You can see the hardware here where you would have lifted it to light it. Like mechanisms. To have zero idea how to even start the thing, right? The floorboards and pedals and
Why even bother having a door if it's small?
just, yeah. Yeah, you like, crazy. Crazy. Yeah, same thing, like, not sure, is that like some sort of an oiler, or did you pack it with grease and then like as it came down, then you knew to refill it? I'm not even sure what the idea of some of this stuff was. I have seen on some of the cars, this must have been like the shock absorber type assembly. You can see there's adjustments, numbers. And look at the hand crank for the starting. Pretty cool. There. If I had to pick a favorite old car, something about a pickup truck. I just love old trucks. Yeah, some of the old stuff, tires. whatnot. And this is like their little mock gas station with the old pumps and signage. Just so cool. So neat. Motor fuel contains lead. And then doing some adding on too, building a, just look at the trusses. I mean, the architecture of this stuff is just gorgeous. Stuff they're working on. A couple of old oil cans. Oh yeah. Glass oil jars. Super neat. Pretty cool. These old chairs. And then we stepped into the bike museum portion. Pretty wild. Look at that. Inline 6 mounted sideways across the front of a motorcycle. The thing is wide. 79 Honda CBX. 1047 cc, 105 horsepower, 132 mile an hour. They had assisted suicide down pat before Jack Kevorkian even thought of it. Oh my gosh. Like a little fold up dinky cycle, folding motorcycle. So crazy. Servicycle, the Johnson motor wheel. Solex moped, Suzuki Hayabusa. Benelli, Ducati, Honda Goldwing, and a Harley Davidson. You got all kinds of crazy stuff. Look at this old Yamaha Cafe Racer bike. That's neat. Triumph motorbikes. So they just set this up as a display, or are they actually actively tinkering on stuff here? I don't know. Hard telling. Oh yeah, look at that. Pretty wild. Swiss Army issued 1975 Condor. Pretty wild. Some of the different bikes. It's a motorcycle with that same bullet looking shaped sidecar. Triumph with a sidecar. BSA, Kawasaki, Montesa. Some of this stuff just looks like, you know, that metal plumber strap, you know. Some of the stuff that they used back then was pretty crude. Stepping stones to where we are today. Pretty wild. Yeah, you can see the flat track racer. See how they've custom drilled and moved the foot pegging around to get the riding position they wanted even way back then, you know. It's pretty neat. Pretty cool. 1939 Indian Scout factory hill climber with a chained up back tire. Allstate, Sears, sold by Sears Roebuck Company, 1965. Huh. Pretty wild. And look at like some of these old things are just unbelievable. Harley, Indian, Cleveland. It's wild. BMW, fairly modern BMW. Pretty cool. Model T garage. Any color you want as long as it's black. Oh man, look at some of the stuff in here. The snowmobiles and people carriers back there. Very, very neat. Love these cans. Canned raccoon, skunk a la king. So funny, so funny. The most smiles per shilling. Pretty neat. Pretty
they had one
wild.
of these in town, remember?
Chris looks huge next to the 48 Crosley station wagon. This is the tires on it stuff. It's so funny. So tiny. American Bantam, 1940. Again, just little bitty. Checker Bantam, prototype Jeep. Checker Motors Company, Kalamazoo, Michigan.
There's a letter here. It says push two-wheel steering, pull four-wheel steering.
Interesting. Wooden tires. Talking about the rations during World War II. They were working on making wooden tires to try and keep people going down the road. Campers kind of neat. Guessing somebody's updated the fabric. Looks a little too new for the age of the camper. 9-passenger 1949 DeSoto. Look at the giant canoe on the top. Pretty cool. 48 Ford Woody wagon.
It's like a Shriner's car.
Yeah, cool stuff. We even got some like old appliances over here, stuff, which is neat. Just to, yeah, freezer, oven combo, washing machine. It's pretty cool. Very cool. Buicks. Again, the building is just absolutely beautiful old barn. Just amazing. Yeah, 1925 Dodge, 24 Studebaker. Yeah, I bet. Yeah, so neat. So, a barley and a handily knight. Huh, that's interesting. And a roamer, all made Kalamazoo. Barley Motor Car Company, Handley Knight Motor Car Company, and Barley Motor Car Company. Interesting how Michigan played such a huge role in the beginning of the automobile. Pierce Arrow Motor Car Company. Chris was just laughing. He goes, I don't know, Pierce Arrow. They make fire trucks, right? Pretty wild. Pretty wild. 1931. Bicycles, motorcycle, inline 4-cylinder motorcycle. Man, again, this car, the tire's just huge. This thing is so tall. Heavy duty, 36.6. I gotta say that's way more than 36-inch tall. It might be a 36-inch wheel. Like, this car is huge. Hold on, Chris, you gotta stand by the front of this car. Like, that tire says 36 on it. There's no way that's 36-inch tall tire. Maybe a 36-inch wheel. That thing is massive. That's pretty cool. Yeah, it almost looks cartoonish. The roof line of this one is so tall. It's a Model 41 limousine from 1931. Unrestored. The step hangs out. Interesting coach lighting. Look at the big like sun visor that flips down.
Putting stuff on the roof.
Yeah.
Is this aluminum?
I'm not sure what the body would have been, aluminum or stainless. Yeah, it's wild looking. It's got like a 3-light system back here, like a more modern car with a, you know, stoplight, turn signal, backup light possibly. Very, very cool. The little pedal car is pretty cool. 1935 Pierce pedal car. The headlights on some of these later models are interesting in the way that they're kind of some of the first that I've seen where they tried to shape them to the fender. I thought that was kind of interesting. This one's kind of an odd mustard orange kind of color, or at least to me, which I'm partially colorblind, so I don't know what it really is, but it is cool, I can tell you that. Very cool. So neat. Oh. Again with the only open top. Very crazy. Huh. Production number 1. Unrestored original. Pretty crazy. Yeah. It reminds me of like the Munster Mobile. I'm guessing.
There's like a goofy tiny seat in the back, which is interesting. It looks like it folds.
Pretty wild. Yeah, there's like a little
You can't get in and out.
little horn so you could,
Spare tire.
I guess, talk to one another. I'm not sure how. Yeah, there's like a weird little jump seat in the back. Giant trunk on the back. Crazy. So Chris was just pointing out to me this old bicycle, again, Pierce Arrow. Kind of neat, artistic looking forks and stuff, you know. How it's got like a single band, but then also like a second one for like, must have been suspension, I guess.
Shins.
But yeah, look at this. So it has suspension that pivots off of the crank through the shock here, but also notice there's no chain. It's like a shaft-driven bicycle. So there must be like a ring gear and a pinion-style shaft, and then another ring and pinion setup in the back. How cool is that? Neat stuff. Well, this is a classic Car Club of America museum, but tons and tons of the old, like radiator caps and hood ornaments. Excuse me. Super neat. A lot of them in these showcases. Yeah, pretty wild. Pretty wild. You can see, like, they're caps. They're threaded on the bottom. They were for whatever they were meant to be. Pretty wild stuff. Just tons and tons of them. But again, even more absolutely beautiful cars. A Stutz. A Stutz with a model Stutz. Very cool. This was a teenager's first car. Supercharged convertible. Pretty wild. All kinds of neat stuff. Packard. 1924. Look at the headlights on this. Cord Cabriolet. Slotted headlights are so cool looking. Almost looks like some sort of an alien. 1930.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that thing is beautiful. Beautiful car. 29 Lincoln. Look at this. Back in 29, when you had to fit the whole family of farm kids, I guess this is what you bought, right? 7 passenger seating. Gigantic running boards. This must have been what the good Catholic families had to drive. I jokingly say that because my mom's the oldest of 11 from a Catholic family. Neat stuff. All right. So it says to build your car. Chris just tried it and it came up with a Roadster. Let's see what Dad's perfect car is.
What do I do?
Just touch your
You
answer.
ask your question and then you touch your answer.
Yeah, so do you like the feeling of wind in your hair? Well, he doesn't have any hair. I guess he likes it across his scalp. Do you employ a chauffeur?
No.
No, not a chauffeur guy.
How many people need to ride me and my date? What is your preferred sport?
Fly in an airplane. Let's see what it comes up with. How will you use your car? He also came up with a Roadster. Now I gotta try it. Two guys got a Roadster. I'm gonna see if I can try it using different answers, and we'll see what happens.
Did I use all the same answers you?
No, that's why I'm curious.
3 different ones. You don't have air either.
I don't have air either.
That's why we all got convertibles.
That's why they got convertibles. So I'm gonna try no. I'm gonna go with no. I definitely don't want a chauffeur. I'm a driver. I'm not a passenger. We know that. Who do I want?
Just you.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of...
That's what
Yeah. My preferred sport? Well, they don't have bouncing your car off of trees. I'm not much of a flight guy. Or either of those other things, so we'll just go shopping.
Maybe a fast car.
Holding up banks would be cool, yeah. Impressing my fans. I don't know. I only got a few YouTube followers. We're gonna hold up a bank. Let's see what we get.
You're gonna be buying Clint's car.
How did I also end up with a Roadster? I think this game is rigged. Let's go in the back and see what else there is. Whitney's been playing guitar, practicing guitar, so I just got to do this for her quick, but yeah, cool. Wow, I swear every room you walk into is just more unbelievable old iron. Crazy. Cadillac 370 V12.
Top of the headline for being a soft one is cool.
Yeah, look at this. Must be the car on your game out there because it's got that door. Like
Prohibition box.
Yeah, prohibition box or the golf club door pass through. You know what? Yeah, we're on to you, Rivian. We know where you got your ideas. Seen that before. Look at this. V16. All the massive engines. So cool. Again, the architecture of the building's just beautiful. Like this one's obviously a little bit newer build. You can tell just because of the coloration of the wood. Just a gorgeous building. Yeah. Huh. Another old Cord. Interesting, all of these cars with the open roof for the chauffeur.
That's for the
Everybody,
driver.
yeah, everybody wanted to be driven. Now everybody wants to drive, or at least I want to drive. Maybe I'm the weirdo. Look at the light on this thing. Big stanchion light. Looks like you could adjust. It's pretty crazy. Pretty neat. Well, yeah, I mean, they were serious about their smoking in the late 30s. A Bentley, the original epitome of style and class, right? Bentley, look at this thing. You can hear them starting. They were just pushing an old car out. Whatever this sign belongs to, they just pushed it through. Let's see what it was. To be honest with you, I don't even know. They were pushing out. A Delahaye. Yeah, they just pushed one of those outside. Supercharged Cord Roadster. Beautiful. Black with the red leather. Gorgeous. And then a white, non-supercharged Cord Roadster. Very cool. Notice the long swooping like fins around that wrapped around the whole entire front of the car that the non-supercharged car had. The supercharged car, of course, different eras, years, but yeah, it's had slotted sides. And as Chris was joking, he said that's the shiniest flex hose he's ever seen. It's pretty funny. But and next to that is a old Bentley race car. Like, it's just wild. Some of this stuff is so crazy. Like, what is this? It looks like there's a water cannon gun coming out of the bottom of the front. 90 miles an hour, 160 horsepower. They produced 32 of them. Yeah. Again, the body looks like it's almost vinyl. Like been wrapped in vinyl. Kind of hard to tell. Leather or vinyl.
This is capable of 90 miles an hour.
Pretty spectacular.
Imagine racing this car. So this car did 24 miles. This one, look where the shifter is. This did 24 miles.
Right there next to your.
Drive this 90 miles an hour.
Right? You got to be pretty skinny to get your leg around that shifter.
It's the only way I'm going 90.
Yeah, look at the gas caps like this. Reminds me of Grandma's old kettle she put on the oven for canning with the lock over thing. Yep, another vehicle with the crazy shock absorbers with the adjustable deal numbers on them. Yeah, it's pretty wild stuff. Hey, they got the Delahaye running. Very cool. It was just an interesting look inside of the body of a 32 Pierce Arrow. Some people don't know, but these cars were built, out of wood framing and then wrapped in metal, most of them. Which is kind of wild to think, of what the construction process was like back then. Wow. Yeah. Crazy. And even more cool stuff.
The
pure sale.
Look at that.
You can tell by the goofy headlights.
2 bumpers before they were a thing, right? See, you guys think you're inventing the world today. This stuff was done in the 20s, 30s. It's been going on forever. Pretty amazing stuff. Unrestored 1947 Cadillac.
It's either unrestored or it's been years since I was.
Yeah. Same with this thing. Unrestored 1926 Marmon. Yep. It says unrestored, but so were they painted blue? I don't know. Pretty wild though.
Well, this here looks like Mary Kay headquarters.
1903 Cadillac Roundabout. Oh yeah. So we just walked into the Cadillac dealership display in here. So Elvis 59 Caddy, Cadillac. It's crazy. 1961 4-door hardtop. Look at that one back there with like a polished stainless or aluminum roof. The one right in front of you, Chris.
58 bricks.
57 Broham.
Oh, that's better bricks.
Yeah. Yeah, CTSV.
No, that's a 4-door.
Pretty cool. That roof just caught my eye right away. It's pretty
Used
cool.
in the film Driving Miss Daisy.
Huh. Funny. 2-door. You got all kinds of. It's wild. 79 Seville 5-passenger sedan. Interesting stuff. Oh wow. Giant model back here. 66 Fleetwood. It's like Boss Hogg's convertible. So when I was younger, my dad had a 1970 Cadillac limousine. And my brother and I would ride in the back, and I remember being a kid and he took us to like Dairy Queen or something. And he drove and the windows were all tinted, and he pulled up to the window and he goes, yeah, those will be for the guys in the back. And then when we rolled forward and he put the window down, the girls at the Dairy Queen were just giggling because here it was those 2 little boys in the back. It was super funny. But yeah, look at that. Pretty cool stuff. Pretty insane. 87 Maloney. Then you walk in their little side garage, and here's a 1906. Look at the back, is all made out of wood, brass lights. So how did it run? How did it drive? It's got a chain drive going to the rear axle. Like, it's just crazy looking. Like all the old memorabilia stuff too. It's always cool. Very, very cool. So it looks like they must line up the cruising night cars like outside of the gates, and then they must open the gates and let them all in. There's a whole bunch of vehicles out here. I don't know if they're for that or not, but we've got one last display to go through here. It's about 4:30, so we got a little while to check this one out, and then we're going to check out the cruising night. But first I want to look at this whole gas station. Look at this, the old gas pumps. That good Gulf gasoline. Look at this. So cool. I've always wanted something with the Gulf racing paint scheme. Is the S10 the truck? Is that the vehicle? I mean, it's kind of beat up anyway. I'm not totally sold on the Fotina direction I was headed due to the different colored underpaint. Maybe we need to go that route with the S10. What's in the Ford Museum? Oh yeah. Funny. This one almost has like a cigar, old cigar, cigarette aroma in here. It's kind of funny. We were joking about how everybody was smokers back in the day. Very cool. Stuff that was popular, clothing, movies. Tools. Display cabinet of all the tools from back then. Service center. Again, tools, parts listings, clocks, full parts department. Very cool stuff. The boxes and crates with original parts still in them. So neat. Wheels and fenders. Grill shutters. Look at antifreeze in like a can. Pretty wild. I like the old delivery truck, heavy duty farm truck. Oh. Here we go. Instruction books. Some of the information back in the day, sales manuals, keys. That's wild. Police patrol. Big old long people hauler next to the fire truck. A Bell telephone truck. Look at that. Look at that. The original like service body on the back, right? The access door, their wire spun on the side. There's your utility bed from 1930s. So we've had a great time looking through all the Gilmore Auto Museum display today. There's tons of cool stuff here. This place is so rad. But tonight's also their last cruising night of the summer. And Wednesday nights they do cruising nights here. I took the day off to spend this time with my dad, my buddy. And it's gonna be a late night for us, but it's gonna be worth it. I got a feeling. Nothing like adding a little LS power to your Miata. And it's just a good looking, clean, simple Miata, which makes it that much cooler. That's awesome. But yeah, there's always tons and tons of just neat stuff, man.
Something about drinking beer, well, hell, that's half my catalog. How long do you want to be here?
BMW 2002, old whale tail Porsche.
Every now and then when the sun comes up, I pour something different in my coffee cup. Lay back, easy, relaxing.
Like the retro shaker hood scoop on that's cool. Just a little 57 in progress build here. Nothing like a big block and a blower. Some old school flames. It's pretty sweet.
See how well it moves.
So it's been a super cool experience. Tons of really neat stuff here. Like here's a 56 Nomad 2-door coming in that's gold and white. That's like beautiful. But we got a long ride home, so we're gonna start making tracks north